Joey Anderson, you're next.
Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I reside in Yakima, Washington, and the reason why I'm here tonight is to bring a community awareness to what has been going on in our town. I find it very greatly disturbing with when we have city officials, they're not willing to do their job and to take some type of accountability to be able to address certain issues with other agencies. One in particular that I'm referring to is the Yakima Police Department. As you know, and you probably know me by name due to news media that had covered an article about my husband that excessive force was done on him. I believe that one, as a community member of Yakima, I've lived here for 6 years. We are programmed and we are raised to believe that when there is a problem that we need to be able to rely upon calling a law enforcement agency to try to stop from any bad situations from occurring.
I need to interject here. This is a subject of an ongoing lawsuit right now, and it really is not something that should be discussed in public in front of the council.
So are we being sued?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, excuse me,
It's also a criminal
sir.
matter.
Excuse me, sir. Your name is
He's
Jeff Cutter?
he's our city attorney, but
Okay.
if he's saying that we can't discuss it, then there's not a whole lot we
Well,
can do.
right now, I would like to correct him on this issue. We do not have an attorney as of yet, so therefore, sir,
But I think
a lawsuit has not been yet started.
I think when
Perhaps
he's
I'm mistaken
Yeah.
as to who your husband is.
My husband's name is Russell Anderson.
Okay, forgive me.
somebody
What she was
else.
describing was a different
But
individual
it is a
who
matter
just
of
received a
a
lawsuit.
criminal matter, which probably wouldn't be appropriate to discuss in a public forum.
If there's a lawsuit or a criminal matter now in progress, it's not appropriate for discussion in the public.
Well, I understand this, sir, but at the point in time before even any court proceedings, well, not
Is
really
there-
technically haven't really started quite yet,
Is
but
there a criminal charge been filed?
Yes, there has
Okay,
been.
and then that would make it not appropriate for discussion in this forum.
Did you file the complaint with the police department after we had talked on the phone? And
yes,
you're
I
going
had.
through the process?
I am going through the process and everything of doing everything in the correct manner, shape, and form. My only question that I have is for anybody in the community, if they ever come or ever speak, either by city council or trying to contact you by phone. I believe that as you city council members should be open to be able to listen to what a community member is saying of what is going on, to bring awareness that, hey, that there is a problem. I spoke with you, Mr. Colley, on the next following day after the incident occurred. I've tried to reach you by phone, Mr. Attorney, over 3 times, and unfortunately, I had your receptionist call me to find out some details. I did kind of consider it like an insult. I would like had spoken to you.
No, Tony.
I would have had spoken to you, so we can try to be able to remedy these problems that this community is facing. With the news articles that have been posted, I have read the comments. Yeah, not all the details were specific in the news broadcast. And I've read what some people had said, and I have read how some people even thought about how the city police is being ran. And I believe that there are some issues, and there needs to be some corrections. And this ain't just happening now. It shows that in history, before even some of the council member officials here had been elected, there were some problems in the past too as well.
Can you wrap up your comments for me?
So all I'm asking is, please, next time when a community member comes and approaches you on a important matter, please take the time to listen. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief?
just for a point of clarification, there was a complaint filed with the police department. We are investigating it. And it would be inappropriate for myself or Mr. O'Rourke to engage conversation because we're part of the chain for discipline. So if there is a sustained violation and discipline is imposed, I would, myself and Mr. O'Rourke would be part of that review process, so we can't get involved until this is all completed.
Well, right, and as you know, and we've discussed, and I did speak to Ms. Anderson on the phone and told her about the process, but there's not a lack of action on behalf of the council to ignore any situation that is brought to our attention has to go through a process that everyone has to go through, not just we go to you and say, handle this or don't, but appreciate your clarification.
But it is being
on that.
looked into.
Thank you.
The only thing that I would say, having witnessed a couple of these historically, that we have to sometimes recuse ourselves based on our position on council about what we can and can't hear, and given the potential that's out there, we still should have some sort of ombudsman sort of role to let them know that they're not being ignored and that their information isn't being considered. And even if that's just a conversation with person X, Randy, as city communications guy or whatever, to say, here's who can talk to you and why, and here's who can't talk to you and why, so that you know and that you're comfortable with the information, that your stuff is being processed, and that the appropriate folks can have conversation. I just think that a lot of times people are left kind of unclear as to, well, are you listening to me or aren't you?
Well, I think that's taken place since I answered my cell phone, but a lot of times these calls, people are very emotional, they're yelling at me or they're angry, and there's not it's a calm down, and then if everybody on the council calls you back and begins to take this up, it can get us into some trouble where you have council members requesting records and reports. I see what you're saying is that we need to make sure.
What derails all of that is, here's the thing, due to the fact that we might be involved in some way, here is a, quote, person from the city that I want you to be the person to talk to, and they're authorized to give you accurate information. So while you see us sitting up here, we may not be the right persons to talk to, but someone that you can trust will give you the right information. I mean, a lot of organizations have sort of that the go-between between decision makers and the public based on the nature of the case. And Randy, it seems like,
We believe we had that conversation, but
and
that wasn't sufficient.
Okay. Well,
We respect that.
Obviously,
All right,
the situation is going to go through the process, and there'll be some sort of ruling and resolution. So we will obviously be in touch. Thank you for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
Anna Marie,